Hey guys, it's Sam and welcome back to Vlogmas. And today we're going to be talking about reading challenges in 2022. So this time of year, as I've already mentioned, I just love the end of the year vibes plus planning your reading for the next year. And a big part of this is either participating in reading challenges or getting inspired by some reading challenges. I have a list that I found of 7 that I think are really interesting, but that also kind of give you a taste of what reading challenges are about. I really think reading challenges started a lot on blogs. A lot of these I found on blogs and have just been like a big blogger thing that have then translated to different platforms. But if you're familiar with readathons, which are much shorter, similar prompts, but just spread out over a whole year. And some of them are very specifically on a theme. Some of them are just about reading more diversely or reading things that are new to you or whatever. So let's get into the challenges. I will link these down below so you can go and check them out in more detail if any of these interest you. So first are 2 that I think are pretty popular and pretty well established from sort of like media blogs based around reading and stuff that I think most people tend to know about, and I think a lot of these are then based on. So the first and the most extensive one, I would say honestly the hardest one, is the PopSugar reading challenge. This has been going on for 8 years and there are 50 prompts each year. So basically if you are shooting to read 52 books a year, that I know a lot of people do, which is also a reading challenge, but I know a lot of people like to know about that. But if you're shooting for, a book a week, you're probably gonna read almost everything based on the PopSugar reading challenge. This year there are 40 kind of standard prompts and then 10 that are more advanced. And the advanced prompts are playing on the theme of 2022. So 2-2 being like doubles, pairs, twins. So for example, one of the prompts in the hard category that's based around kind of this theme of doubles is reading a book about a character leading a double life. But all of the prompts are just a plethora of anything kind of trying to get you to go outside your comfort zone, read books from different genres, subgenres, new to you authors, diverse authors from different places around the world, different ethnic backgrounds, different sexualities, books on specific topics, books in different settings. There's even some prompts that are familiar from like readathons and such of like a book with a certain kind of cover or a book with something in the title, things like that, but 50 of them to take place over a year. This one says there are no rules, so I don't know if like rereads count or if you can use one book for multiple challenges. I'm guessing so, since they didn't say there are any rules, but they also didn't specify that the way that some of the other ones did. Next is another one that I think, again, is pretty popular, and that's the Book Riot Read Harder Challenge. This one has 24 prompts, so shooting for 2 a month. So again, a lot of people will only read books based on this list, and then some people have a little bit more wiggle room if they read more than that to read books just not based on prompts in this list. This readathon says that you can double up on prompts. So if one book counts for a number of different prompts, you can use that and double up. This one seems to be a little bit even more niche than I would say the PopSugar. Again, you can double up on PopSugar potentially, but this will have a couple of different things thrown together. Again, read harder. Like you're trying to really find a book that is like very specific. So for example, one of the prompts is read a memoir by a trans or non-binary author. I'm not saying that that's hard to do, but like they're giving you the assignment of a memoir genre and then something about the author. So there might be other ones, I'm just making this up, but like it would be read a horror book that's set in a different country that you've never visited or set in like one of the oceanic countries or something. It's gonna like double up and make it super specific, so that's why it's read harder. The next one is one more specific to me, and that is the Bibliothecary reading challenge for 2022. If you're not familiar, the Bibliothecary is my Patreon community where we do a bunch of stuff together. They have a lot of say in what kind of books that I'll read and things like that, but we also have a lot of community stuff. We do watch-alongs, read-alongs that are quarterly now, and this year for 2022, we're adding in a reading challenge. This is a reading challenge where you can do as little as 5, or the most you could do is 26 prompts, and it's in a little bingo board. So you can choose to read like one sort of like bingo thing and you've completed the challenge, but you can also choose to do all of them. And I also do have sort of like a hard category. So one of the rows is like harder challenges. And so you can choose to like just do the hard ones or do all of them. So you can do an L, whatever kind of like bingo formation you want, you can do. And we are doing this all together through Discord. So we do have an exclusive Bibliothecary Discord community, and that's where that's gonna be. So I'm not gonna talk about what the challenge prompts or anything are here, but I will be making a Bibliothecary post when this video goes live as well to talk to you guys about that and to announce everything. And I'm really excited about all the prompts. Like I'll obviously be doing it, hopefully doing all of the prompts, but there's some ones in there that are like easier to do. There's some in there that are harder to do. It's a mix of kind of everything, but anyone, no matter what you read, should be able to do at least 5, right, of some of the prompts. So if you're interested in being part of that, the Bibliothecary is linked on the screen, and any tier level gets to participate in that. And what's really fun about that is you get to be part of the community, and the community is super supportive and really fun. And we already have like accountability things things and like reading challenge things that we talk about, but this is the first like year-long group event that we're doing, so I'm pretty pumped about it. Then those are some of the broader challenges. There's more than that out there, but those are some of like the bigger ones that are more like, okay, really like bigger challenges, broader things like that. Then there's a bunch of reading challenges that are much more niche and are like about a specific topic or about a specific kind of book or something like that. So I have a few that I want to talk about, but there's, again, many more than this. One is the Back to Classics challenge put on by the blogger Books and Chocolate. You can read as little as 6 of the prompts for this or 12. There's up to 12, so potentially just like 1 classic book a month. The only rules are that the books have to be more than 50 years old and you can't double up on prompts. So again, similar to some of the other things, but just about classics, it'll be like, okay, read a book that's set in the 20th century, so between this year and this year. Read a book by a non-white author that's a classic, things like that. But all about reading books that are over 50 years old. Then we have a Beat the Backlist challenge by Austin Decker. So backlist titles are books that are published the year before or earlier. So all the books for the 2022 challenge that you would have to read would be published in 2021 or earlier. So you are not really focusing as much on new releases. Like, sure, you can still, you can kind of choose somebody that you want to read, but not focusing as much on new releases, focusing more on backlist books. You do have to start and finish the book in 2022, but rereads do count. And there's no kind of restriction of how many you have to do or anything. Like, any book that fits those 2 qualifications counts, and go from there. Then there's the Finishing the Series challenge, that's put on by Celebrity Reader. This is what it sounds like, focusing on finishing series. I do a bit of this myself with just sort of like reading goals and things like that, but this is an actual reading challenge. And I didn't mention this earlier, but it's kind of a given. All of these reading challenges have like a community aspect to them. So the Bibliothecary is like more close-knit on Discord, but a lot of these are like, hey, sign up on this sheet. At the end of the year, we'll like draw a raffle for people that participate and like check in. Here's a hashtag on Twitter, things like that. So all of them have a like community aspect to them, whether you choose to participate in that part or not. But for the Finishing the Series challenge, all the series must be finished in 2022. So it's a series that you started before 2022 and you want to finish it in 2022. That can be series that aren't yet completed yet, you're just catching up, or series that are completed as long as you started the series before 2022. And the last one I'm going to talk about is the Library Love Challenge by Angel's Guilty Pleasures, and this is just to read 12 library books a year. So again, diversifying where you're getting your books from. So reading and prioritizing at minimum 12 library books in the year. And as I mentioned, there are way more reading challenges than this. So there are reading challenges focused on your TBR, reading challenges focused on debut authors, focused on new books, focused on older books, like I mentioned with some of these, focused on audiobooks, e-reader, reading books off Kindle Unlimited only, reading books from certain genres, cozy mysteries, certain kinds of romance, fantasy, sci-fi, award-winning books, whatever. So I did find a master list that, again, a blogger put together and has been working on for some time, obviously. So I will link that down below if you want even more reading challenges, whether this is inspiration for you to add to your like reading goals for next year, whether you want to sign up for some of these challenges, whatever. As I mentioned, the Bibliothecary is also linked down below if you want to join us on Discord. That one is probably one of the more active ways to participate in a reading challenge, but do you? I would love to have you guys. So comment below, let me know if you've participated in any reading challenges for 2021 or earlier, if you plan on participating in any reading challenges for 2022. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.